Is your lack of music theory knowledge holding you back in your productions and songwriting with putting chords together? Well, I've come up with a massively helpful template for you so that you can put together really cool chord progressions and even understand the theory of what you're doing. Let's take a look. Okay, so here's my template. It's called Chords-In-Keys. Now, as you can see, what I've done is I've taken every major and minor key and I've grouped them together as parallel keys. So C major and C minor are in the same group. That's all parallel key means. And all 7 chords of the diatonic chords you would use are listed here, not just as the names of the chords for that key, but the numbers for the music theory as well. The ones I've colored black, those are the diminished chords because probably you're not going to use those. They're not going to sound how you want unless you're doing like classical or jazz or something. They're going to be weird. You have arrangement view and you have session view. Everything grouped G major and G minor. Boom, here's all 7 chords in the diatonic keys. One of the more advanced music theory knowledge things that really helps you as a songwriter or producer is understanding that if I'm in G major, for example, and I only use these 7 chords that are diatonic to the key of G major, that's fine, but at a point, everything's gonna start sounding the same, maybe a little boring, because you have to break out of just these 7 chords. And the best way to do that that works is if you're in G major, any of the chords from G minor are going to sound great if you insert them into G major. Also, let's say you're in G minor, any of the chords from G major, you can add those into your G minor, and that's called borrowing chords from the parallel key, and it's gonna sound really cool. When you download it, you're just going to go to Ableton's file and save the live set as a template, okay? And you may need to name it Chords-In-Keys template. Let's take a look at how this insane looking template is actually going to be useful for you. I have a new track. Hey, I want to make a song. What key do I want to be in? I can go to templates and it will be here in the list, whatever you named it. Mine says Chords-In-Keys diatonic, okay? Open that up. Okay, let's say I want to make a song today in A major. Okay, well I can open this up and here's all my chords for A major or A minor. Okay, I'm just going to take both A major and minor. I'm going to drag these in. Here's all of my chords that work in either key. Right now they're just MIDI. They're not going to make any sound. If you look on them, there is a piano, but it's turned off. But that's so if you just want to hear what it sounds like. I have another third track that actually has an instrument on it. And you know that putting these chords together are going to work. So let's say I'm in A major. I'm going to start, what does it sound like to have a progression that does the 4 chord, followed by the 1 chord, followed by the 5 chord, and then maybe I borrow from the parallel key. What would it sound like if then I go to this C chord, the 3 from the parallel key, and then on the repeat of the chord progression, we can do 4, 1 again, and now maybe we borrow some more chords. We do that, and maybe we end on that. And now we have a, 8-bar chord progression going on in A major, but there's some borrowing from the parallel key, and you can see the theory behind all of it. Let's see how this sounds. Ooh, there's one of those different chords. Awesome. So not only do you know that any way you put these together will work, but you can also know that you're actually doing a 4-1-5 chord progression and then using the 3 from the parallel key, and then it's 4-1 and then an A minor to 6-5. I know it sounds nerdy, right? But you don't have to understand this stuff, but you can actually be using it, doing it, and seeing what it is. And that's really cool. The more you do this, the more you'll learn the theory. And so that's great. Now, one last thing, let's say this is just a map for it. When you have it how you like, now you can make changes to the MIDI if you don't like, what I just have here. So you could even consolidate it all at one time. You do lose the names of everything that way, but then you could take the MIDI and highlight all of it and move it up or down different octaves, or you can try different inversions and have the order of the notes be different on certain chords, whatever. This is a map to just piece it together in a way you like, and then it's on you to produce it how you want. So download this, give it a try, drag some of these into your songs, mix and match chords from parallel keys, Please leave a comment, drop me a line, let me know how this is working out for you. Hopefully I hear back that you just made the dopest song you've ever made and this helped. Either way, enjoy it and have fun.